DIY oxide sprays with reinkers. Will it work? You know I had to try it, so let's find out. So many of you asked after my DIY distress spray video if oxide reinkers would work to make our own sprays. Again, I've never tried it. However, if it does work, it will definitely be a game changer and save us so much money. Now, I wanted to say that I've always been under the impression that DIY sprays with reinkers won't work exactly the same as regular sprays. Now, I think I debunked that with the distress reinkers, and I'm excited but really not too hopeful for the results for the DIY oxide sprays with reinkers. Now, before I start, I wanted to point out a few helpful tips from the last video. Several of you mentioned that it's very important to use distilled water when making your own sprays, and a couple of you mentioned that your DIY sprays didn't last that long. So I personally wouldn't make too much at a time because you don't really know the shelf life. Now, I'm going to make this video a lot shorter than the last one because this video would have been about 30 minutes if I would have just kept it as is, and it definitely doesn't need to be that long. I picked out a couple of my favorite colors, Seedless Preserves and Picked Raspberry. Now, it's very, very important that you shake the bottles until the chalkiness on the bottom is mixed well within the reinker. Now, I have a couple mini misters and I'm going to add about 25 to 30 drops and fill the rest of the bottle with water. I'm taking some distressed watercolor paper and I'm going to use the DIY spray first. I go in with Picked Raspberry on top, and I can tell right away that it does not look the same as a regular oxide spray. And you can definitely see the difference as I spray the oxide spray. So even more doubt crept in. The DIY spray has an overall chalky look to it, and the regular spray has a mixture of the stain and oxide. Now, of course, I wasn't going to give up just yet because I know that the real magic happens when you add water to the background. But first, I needed to dry the panels. Now, I'm going to pull out a couple of these cookie cooling racks that I got off of Amazon. These are perfect to hold that paper above the surface so the hot air can circulate through the paper. I will have them linked in the description box if you want to grab some. Now that the panels are dry, I'm going to add some water splatters to both panels. You can see right away how the inks are separating from each other, creating that amazing oxide effect. I was honestly so shocked that this is working, but I did wonder if it would dry this way. But first, I wanted to finish these backgrounds like I would any other distressed background, so I add even more spray and water splatters until I feel I get the look that I'm going for. Then I'm going to dry these. I have to say that these little cooling racks are pretty amazing. I feel like I can dry the panels faster without having to hold them, and this way I have one hand free just in case I want to add even more to my backgrounds. Now that the backgrounds are dry, I was so surprised. I actually like the DIY sprays more than the regular sprays. I would love to know if you're just as shocked as I am that you can use your oxide reinkers to make sprays. And I know there has to be a million other ways to use reinkers, so I'm taking this opportunity for some more crowdsourcing so we can come up with a great video to showcase the many ways to use them. So feel free to leave a comment letting everyone know your tips, tricks, and what your favorite way to use reinkers are. Be sure to check out this short playlist right here where I share many different techniques using sprays, and I will catch you all later. Stay creative, my friends.